So we just crossed over to Osage County out of Kaw Nation, and we are just, man, I mean, I'm gonna flip the camera right now. The camera's not gonna do it justice, but it is just incredible out here. And we're gonna get to the destination about 5:38. Sun's usually setting around here now like 6:50. So we should have a really good view of everything still. We just picked up some energy drinks, and normally I don't do the caffeine at this late, but doing quite the drive, and you know what, we're on a little adventure, so that's just fine. But a lot of cow right now. We stopped at a gas station right like as we got into the Kaw Nation, and the guy there behind the counter was super nice and said he hadn't seen buffalo in a long time, so I'm not sure that we're going to see any, but it'd be cool if we did. I think either way it's going to be worth the drive and kind of a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, so very, very excited to be here. We're about 14 minutes away, 8.6 miles. Word of caution, probably would want to have four-wheel drive. Our rental car is a Ford Edge, okay? So we're in the equivalent of a slightly larger Kia, and we just switched, so we got on the road that the Prairie Reserve is 5 miles down this road, and it is a dirt road. And it's not like super crazy, but definitely I would have been much more comfortable in a larger car. So I am praying to God right now that we don't get a flat, because, buddy, I have not seen a gas station in a long, long ways. So this is a different type of living out here. Side note, I was driving down the road and I'm like, what is that? I see something crawling on the road, and it was about the size of my hand, and it was a tarantula crossing the road, which is crazy. And we Googled it, and there are tarantulas in Oklahoma, so I had no idea. I almost hit a tarantula on the road, so crazy. This is a wild, wild state. So we're gonna keep on going down this road, and we're gonna hope for the best. I don't know how close we're gonna be able to get to this thing, but it appears you can drive all the way there. But again, if you're trying to make this drive, definitely get a larger car or a larger rental car than a Ford Edge. But this Ford Edge is at least kind of doing it, so we're gonna hope for the best. I'm not sure if you can read that sign, but we got bison are dangerous, keep your distance, and we are now entering the Tall Grass Prairie Reserve. And it almost looks like over on to the left there was like a controlled burn. Not sure if that's coming up, but I'm not sure if it was controlled or not, and it was just a brush fire, but there was definitely a fire out that way. Check out that area over there. We are pretty much right in the middle of the Great Plains. Kind of cool to imagine what this must have been like many, many, many years ago. And I'm very happy I'm vlogging to take you guys along for the ride to this crazy trip. I think this is gonna end up being one of the craziest vlogs I've ever done. So we're bringing them back strong. We've made it. We are in the Great Plains, my friends. FF Lifestyle has made it to a very cool part of the United States. And we got to see buffalo, but man, I wish there was a way for us to get closer, because they are, I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see, there's this really cool plaque, and ironically, directly behind it, right there is a herd, man, yeah, there has to be over 100 buffalo just right there. I just don't know how to get there. There are power lines, and I would imagine it's a road. We're gonna drive a little bit further forward, see if we could turn left and chase them down a little bit. But I mean, just incredible, like truly incredible. It's hard to explain the vastness of this. Like, imagine coming to like just being dropped in the middle of the ocean, but it's on land, and that's where we're at. It's crazy to like fathom. And you think about living out here, and the one thing that I kept talking about, I'm like, the nearest hospital has to be like an hour and a half from here, maybe an hour from here. It's one of those places where it really is like a reminder when you're driving or whatever, like if our car breaks down, if you get hurt, you know, you got to kind of think about those things, because it is remote. It is absolutely out there. I'm going to do a pano. I do apologize for the wind. The mic for this DJI is in the car, so if it gets too bad, I will open it up. I'm trying to talk a little bit louder, but gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous around here, guys. And the Ford Edge made it. It made it. I really hope there's a way for us to get over there, because if we could get some close-up shots, I snapped a few photos. I'll pop them up on the screen now so you guys can see what we're seeing at 25% zoom. If I had like some binoculars or something, you could see them. They're right there. I don't know that we're gonna get quite that close. Pretty much any road that goes to the Buffalo, like if you guys see out here, there's a power line. That's where they were all at. But unfortunately, every road to get there is a private road. And out here, middle of nowhere, I don't know that I really want to be trespassing on anybody's property. So we're at the visitor center now. There's a bunch of gorgeous deer right here. Then I'm freaking them out, of course, but they are like right by the car. Try not to disturb them too much, but they are everywhere. Oh wow, man, look at them. Yeah, there's so many of them right behind that barn there. There's more right over there. Yep, and somehow electric charging stations right there. The really tough part is where we are, it's so remote. I don't have a ton of, I mean, we got more than enough gas left, but it's one of those things where you don't want to keep driving out in the middle of nowhere. The one thing I have not seen since we've entered the reservation is a street light. So I'd really rather not be caught out here in pitch black in a Ford Edge trying to get out of here. It's just such a bummer because they're very, very close, and I don't know that we're going to be able to find a way over there while we're here. But a lot of wildlife right there, you know. We'll see. Scenic road. Mm-hmm. Well, we'll see. I mean, let's try to find another spot. We've come a long way, driven a long way, flown a long way, and you know, we're not gonna quite get there. And I'm gonna pan the camera around. They're all like, there's no way you guys are gonna be able to see them, but they're maybe about 1,000 yards out that way, and there's not like a great way to get out there, and it looks like short grass, but it's all about knee-high grass. And we've already seen a few things cross the road that looked maybe a little bit like coyotes or something like that. I'm sure this prairie is ripe with some predators that would take us out in a hurry, especially as it starts to get darker here. We don't have shit with us. No gun, no knife, no survival stuff. That's what happens when you fly into a place and don't do a checked bag. So I feel good in the fact that we really gave it everything we could give it to come out here. Yeah, and you know, it was still, even seeing it at 25% zoom was still really, really cool to see. So I'm happy we were able to see that. And the scenery around here, guys, is just, the camera will never do it justice. And when are you gonna see a loose bison sign like that, okay? You know, I mean, this is about as middle America as you are ever gonna get. Crossroads on the Great Plains. I'll roll the windows down so you guys can really get the full experience as we drive along this dusty road. It's weird, there's kind of an illusion right now where it looks like there's two suns sure if you guys are picking up on the rainbow, but it's kind of cool. What a gorgeous area. Really, it gives you kind of the feeling of this like untouched area. We got deer up here crossing. The deer were not super afraid. I was able to get pretty close to one near the Welcome Center. The Welcome Center, if you are coming, is really nice. It's just something to keep, remembering. These are wild animals roaming around out here, and there's no, they're not on anyone's schedule. So you could make the drive and they could be right there, or they're going to be, a few hundred yards out, 1,000 yards out, whatever. And man, just looking over, it's still cool to just see them out there roaming around, just like it would have been thousands of years ago or whatever. Maybe not thousands, hundreds of years ago. We got about a 2-hour drive ahead of us. We're gonna make it back to the Wichita airport at 8:30 tonight, so not bad. Our plane leaves, it departs at 5:10 in the morning tomorrow. So we're gonna be up bright and early. I'm gonna film a little bit of the travel vlog home. Not sure how much I'll vlog in the airport itself. We were able to upgrade to first class, so that is gonna be the move, because some of those planes were pretty tight on the way here. So we are back at the hotel. Bit of a mad dash there at the end. I never thought I would be so happy to see a freaking street light after driving through there. Just super sketchy in a tiny little car like that, with not a lot of light bars and things. Like the TRD Pro has a light bar and a lot of extra LEDs for those kind of off-roading situations. But the sun started to set fast. We were still like an hour and a half out, and all of a sudden I started getting rather nervous because deer were running all over the place. There's like no lights anywhere on the road in Oklahoma. So we did make it back, ended up making it back at about 8:30. We dropped the rental car off like right over there, and now it is 10:16. We got to be up at 3 o'clock, over there at 4 o'clock, and hopefully home back in good old Pennsylvania at 11 o'clock. It's been raining for like a week in PA because of the just hurricanes and stuff like that. So a little bit of a bummer that we're coming from gorgeous weather back to gross, misty, humid PA weather. And it is very dry here. There's not a lot of humidity, but that sun, man, that sun in Oklahoma was like radiating a beam of heat down when we were there. But just reflecting on the trip, we got to do great things for work. We got to do great things for exploring, a little bit of both. And that's what I think makes a work trip awesome. It helps out with when the people you work with are also your really good friends. So, when you come to places like this, it's a lot of cool exploring. So I'm going to wrap this up, get as much sleep as humanly possible, and then wake up and travel. Luckily, though, again, we upgraded our seats for like $90 to first class for tomorrow. So should be a much better time in the plane. About 3:40 in the morning. We're saying goodbye to the DoubleTree behind us, and we're making our long trek on foot to the Wichita airport. And our flight ends up heading out at 5:10, but we're gonna get to walking and hope we can get through security in a reasonable amount of time. made it to our home airport. Gotta head back to HQ and pick up the 4Runner. Just like that, we are back in good old rainy, sticky, humid PA. But I'm on my way home, so excited to see Mary and my son. I got him a bison, just telling him Daddy's going to play with the buffalo, you know, and maybe one day he'll watch this vlog and see that there were actually buffalo. I swear they were way out there, but there were buffalo there, and it's pretty cool. But man, it's tough to be away from that kid and my wife. But just also as an ender point, I'm never gonna show my son on this vlog on the internet. It's a dangerous place these days, so I never want you guys to think, oh, he must not like his kid, he never has him in the video. It's just not safe anymore. It is what it is. You guys are just gonna have to live with that. But I'm gonna wrap this vlog up now. Might have been a long one, I don't know, but so worth it. Such an adventure, and got a lot of stuff done for work, and also a lot of really cool stuff in our off hours. I think the highlight of the trip for me was the Osage Reservation. Just so cool, so cool. I had this really interestingly cool experience with this deer. I've seen a lot of deer in my life, but it was just weird. There were like 3 of them. I'll try to put the video up now, and all of them left. But then when I walked up to the third one, just kind of stayed and hung out for a bit and just like dead stared me for like 3 solid minutes. And I just had, you know, this like little moment with the deer out in an Osage reservation in the middle of Oklahoma. And you know, that was a really just cool feeling experience. If you're traveling to that area, make the trip. Go out to the scenic overlook in the Prairie Grassland Reserve right there and check it out, because it's well worth it. Guys, thank you so much for traveling along to Kansas and Oklahoma with FF Lifestyle. It was an incredible time. As always, stay tuned for more great videos